I still need you to make a batch of those fried... We can serve them with the ale.
Yep.
And you'll take care of it?
Don't I always?
I don't suppose I could convince you to take care of it now, could I?
No.
I should have guessed. I'm the innkeeper. It's my business to keep track of strangers. Word is Ulfric Stormcloak escaped from the Imperials. War's only going to get worse now. They say a dragon attacked Helgen. Sounds like hogwash to me. I'm the innkeeper. It's my business to keep track of strangers. We don't get a lot of... Most of my customers are locals, come here to relax after a hard day's toil. The war keeps most folks away these days. So what's your story? Just here to relax? Well, there's something to be said for honesty, I suppose. If you're staying the night, I've got a free room.
Can I help you? I'm Mandin Hlalu, representative of the great House Hlalu of Morrowind. I'm here in Skyrim on urgent business. I doubt it, but thank you for the offer. The kind of help I need. I need someone with power beyond measure.
Yes, Delphine.
Thank you.
I swept it this morning.
Are you sure?
Then safe travels, my friend.
Well, it looks clean enough. And it was just going to get dusty again anyway, and...
Can I help you?
Right away.
Good.
We've stopped. You're not going to fire me, are you?
Just contemplating my next opponent. Or opponents, I should say. 3 snow elves, with snouts that hiss foul vapors. 2 of them try to flank me, while the mage attempts to slow me with a spray of frozen dust. His hope is that while I concentrate on evading him, his friends will offer the killing blow. But he fails to see that the twirl of my feet not only allows me to evade, but provides me the torque for my blow. Three Falmer become 2, and 2 become 1. The last is afforded only a second to make peace with the Divines before all are gone.
Out of my way, stranger. Hey, my hangover is gone. But damn if I ain't almost sober. Forget it. I don't do that kind of work. You're kind of fuzzy. What's wrong with you? Got any ale or mead?
Sven, we need to talk.
Here we go.
It's about your singing. Well,
Can I get
not
you something?
Your, singing, your songs, but you know what I'm talking about.
That's her business,
You
not
do
mine.
realize these simple
Probably not yours either.
hit them in-
Between you and me, she could use a bit
Very well.
of
The
warmth.
wish is my command.
Wonderful. And let's not have this chat again next week. Agreed?
We've got something of a love triangle here in Riverwood. Faendal and Sven, both vying for Camilla's affections. Until next time.
Nope. Sorry. Nothing.
Heard me a rumor, boy. Something about you putting bugs in the stew over at the Sleeping Giant. You do this?
Yeah, so?
Ah, I knew it. Had your name written all over it, that one did.
You just wait. My new pranks are going to be the best ever. You'll see.
by Easmere, it's true. A jester, funny suit and all. Just north by the Lorius farm. Fool had a coffin in a cart with a broken wheel. I'd like to see him laugh his way out of that.
Well, sounds like you've had quite the journey, Ufka. But you were gone longer than usual. I got to thinking maybe you weren't coming back.
You sound like my ma. Figured I was lying dead in a field somewhere, is that it?
Thought did cross my mind, yeah. War brewing, talk of a riot in Helgen, having out jesters. Skyrim's gone mad, girl. You need to be careful out there.
Careful, huh? Thanks, Skulvar. I'll remember that. Ah, yeah, right.
Yes?
Think you can go blade to blade with me? You'd be dead in 6 seconds. And why not? I could beat anyone in this city, barehanded. 100 gold says I knock your hide to the ground. Just fists. No weapons, no magic, no crying. Let's go.
Right behind.
Come on. Let's see what you're made of.
Come on, steady now.
God.
Why don't you put up a proper fight, yeah?
Another fight.
Come on. Let's see you put up a fight. Ha! I think you're bleeding.
Come on, fight back.
Not so tough now, are you?
The cities are bustling with so much life. I feel like the possibilities are endless.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom? And why not? 100 gold says I knock your hide. Just fists. No weapons, no magic, no crying. Let's go. Come on. Let's see what you're made of.
Come on, fight back.
Not so tough now, are you?
Is that it? Is that your best? You can't best the true hero.
Someone do something! Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. Brilliant. Take a look.
All right, then.
Order the yard. I command you to hold.
Remember the time I threw you? Well, it's time for an encore.
Ah, look, a mortal. I see you have discovered my lair. Very well done for a creature of such low wit. No, I am afraid you cannot. Others may, perhaps, but you are certainly not working with an adequate base. I was once the daughter of Hjor, one of the early patrons of the great clan Battleborn. It was the time of Nordic kings, long before Tyr the Septim made this land the vanguard of his empire. Yet my father was only a father by blood, and not by name. For my mother was one of the last of the snow elves, and their union was said to be a betrayal of both their people. If my father was to lead the clan to prosperity, my existence could not be known. So I was thrown into this dungeon, left here to rot through countless winters, through wars and famine. I was here as castles crumbled and were built anew, haunting these damp, fetid tunnels, as Olaf built Dragon's Reach and a new dungeon above it. When indeed, mortal, for even now I hardly consider myself dead. In fact, I believe it is that very refusal to die that allowed me to continue wandering this plane. Living in this squalid pit with only the rats to serve as meals, the only motivation I had was to outlive my father. I lived for the day when he lay on his deathbed, summoning me to his chamber in hopes that I would absolve him of his betrayal. The dying always believe they can use their own deaths as a shortcut, a way to receive forgiveness from those they wronged in life. I vowed not to pity him when that moment came. I would spit in his face and let him greet the sun with a glob of milky white hanging from his beard. Only he never gave me the satisfaction. They never brought me to see him. It would not have mattered. I could hear the whispers through the grate. My father had forgotten, and I was already dead. They are not even memories. Pictures, maybe, of someone else. A young girl holding hands with a grown man. He calls her his little mountain flower, and places one in her ear. They head on over to the market. He shows her one of the fish at the monger's stall, a salmon as long as a mortal's arm but as fat as a house cat. He lifts her on his shoulders so she can touch it. It wiggles a bit and she squeals, drawing her hand back. The man smiles. It was a conjuration trick, a touch of life. The man tells her she should be careful around the dead, for in Skyrim the dead never die. Sage advice indeed. So I've heard. There are no shortage of rumours that I'm privy to in this foul sewer. I wonder, as Ulfric plots the demise of the Greymanes, if he even knows his son is in love with one. I also hear they are Legion pets, loyal to an empire led not by a dragon king, mind you, but high elves. What sweet irony! It brings me no shortage of joy to know my father's namesakes now defile his memory in this fashion. What became of her I learned from the guards, who whispered stories from above. She fought for the Nords, they say, against her own kind. She killed hundreds of her own people, watched the genocide of an entire race, all for the love of a man who would never make her his wife. To put it simply, My mother had lost her mind. They say in the end she was killed by the beasts of the wild, having ventured too far from camp. She was killed by beasts, all right, but those that walk on two legs and smell of bad mead. Finally, aren't you the bright one? You figured out I wasn't an ordinary wisp mother, and you did so without the aid of pictures. Good for you! I cannot say for certain why I am still lucid, whereas others are not. Only that I believe it has something to do with this location. For all my life I wanted vengeance against those that wronged me, and it is that singular focus that brings thought to this one's partial existence. Who is to say what would happen if the object of that enmity, the very descendants of the one I despise, were to leave Whiterun for another hold? Your lust for blood is amusing, mortal. I would very much like to help in nurturing such a very desirable compulsion. Unfortunately, I have not waited countless millennia to have my vengeance handed to me on a dish not yet cold. I imagine it is much like your existence, only with thin wrappings for skin, glow dust for blood, and a skull completely filled with air. In other words, I am corporeal, permanently so. I am not like a familiar or any other flimsy image cast upon this world by a frightened idiot. Now, I will admit that when I first discovered the nature of my body, there was confusion. For so long I lived an existence full of lacking. I lacked food, I lacked warmth, in more ways than one. As a wisp, there was only one thing I lacked, and it more than made up for the rest. What I lacked was pain. Such a kind, maudlin, and dare I say cloying little sweetheart. You'll make this wisp mother cry a river of ectoplasm. Hopefully you'll drown in it. I have no answer, only a theory. It was near the end of my life. I was starving, filthy, my lips about to drink from the burbling rivers of madness. I was cold, so cold. My clothes were wet, and the frost was flooding in through the pockets of loose stone. It was then that I saw a boy. I cannot be certain if he was even real. He was skipping rocks against the wall, mumbling in a language that was not the common tongue. Somehow I understood. He asked me if I was his mother. When I told him no, he asked me if I wanted to be. And when I woke up the next morning, I was not cold anymore. Perhaps the half-wit is right half the time. Becoming a wisp may be the fate of all wayward snow elves, who know not of where our family rests. Born of cold, and to cold they return. But those who are lost can only sing to the wind. Is the chime of a wisp a beacon? Is its plangent bell a desperate cry, praying to the gods for an answer? I am a wisp. Does that answer your question? No? Very well, I shall explain. Essentially, at the core of my being, I am a ghost. Or rather, the imprint of a living soul. I possess the personality and knowledge of the one I represent, but nothing more. Yet, unlike a ghost, I am corporeal. I can touch the world around me just as it can touch me. As for how I came to be, that is its own tale. One of regret, betrayal, but most of all stupidity. Farewell now.